Hi everyone. In this session, I would like to present you a few commands that may help you during the maintenance of your recorded script or the debugging process of it. And the first thing I would like to present is the option to add comments to your scripts. For this demo, I'm using a script that we have been recording in another session where we go to the absences system and then we click on the pagination button for one time and gets the data of the table after we paginate to the next rows. So let's say that my script is not really self-explainable and I would like to add some comments to it. It's very easy. I'm just standing on the line where I want to insert the comment just before it. I click the right click menu and choose insert comment. Now I can put whatever I want here. For example, mark each section of what I'm going to do. And here, let's say that I'm saying going to the absences module, and here I will explain that I am paginating to the second page if exists. Okay, so now my script is much more clear to the one that will need to maintain it. This is one thing that I can do. Another thing is when I run this script and some error occurs, let's go to the service manager and let's run this script and change the name of the username to a non-existing user to see what happens. If I do that, it will fail, of course. Now let's say that I didn't really understand why it failed and I want to try and investigate it. One option is to go to the log and try to figure out what is wrong. Another option is to go to the service manager files area. I go to admin, server files, go to the temp directory, and the service manager by default, when it fails, when an HTML service fails, it creates a snapshot of the system at the point that it fails. The snapshot will be called HTML dump and then the service name. So I've run this service, it failed, and it generated a dump of the snapshot at the time of the error. And now when I get into it, I can see very easily that I've entered the wrong username and I got an error message, and this is why my service failed. Because in our service, we are checking that we're getting to the home page. We didn't get there because we didn't pass the login step and it failed. So this is something that happens automatically. You just need to know to go to the right place and see the dump file. But let's say that you have a more complicated situation. Let's say that your script does not fail, but still you are not getting your expected results. Let's say, for example, that you get here where you capture the data from the web page, and the data that you get is not the data that you expect. I mean, when you are working with the real system, you get to one page, but when you get the data from the service, you get some other information, which is not the one that you are expecting. And you want to take a snapshot at this point. So if it won't fail, Service Manager will not generate any snapshot by default, but you can add it explicitly. You can get here into this specific point, add new command, and there is a command called store HTML source, which enables you to add a snapshot at this point explicitly. What you need to add here is the name for the snapshot that you want to create. I would usually recommend to take the name of the service as a prefix, because the temp directory is a shared directory for all the services. I want to differentiate my snapshot from other files, and let's call it after next. Okay, now I'll save it and I'll upload the script. I'll update the script in the service manager. Now there are two ways to do that. I can delete and upload it again, or since I didn't change any inputs and outputs, I can get into the script go to the scenario view section and upload only the script. It will update the scenario without changing the input and the outputs. We have a session discussing the ways to update a service. And now I expect to see on my my scenario view the save snapshot command that I've done. I've done it here and I don't see it. I don't see it because by default we are not displaying debug commands. If I want to see all the commands, there is a checkbox here called verbose. If I'll click it, I'll see this command. Since it's debug command, it was filtered by default. So I can see that I have the store HTML source. Now I'll run it. It will run well. I'll go to the admin server files, to the temp directory, and I will find there the snapshot file that I've created. This is the snapshot file. Sorry, this is the snapshot file. This was from another run. I will click it and I'll see the snapshot of the system at the point where I've added store HTML source. So this is another option that you have to debug your system, to get visibility into the legacy system and see what our player is getting from it while it is doing its playback. Another useful thing that may help you during the debugging process is the ability to add log messages of your own. As I said, another option to debug a failed service is to go into the service manager log and see the flow and see the log messages of the service execution. You can add your own messages during the run of the service to the log. How you do that? You do that with a command called echo. So let's say that I want to add here, when I'm checking if the next button exists at this line, I want to check a log message with the value of this variable next exists, because for some reason it does not work well for me. So I can insert a new command called echo and put there my own message. Let's say the value of next exist is, and to get the value of the variable itself, I would add it as I'm adding a variable to any command here. And as we demoed in the previous session, with dollar, curly brackets, and the name of the variable. So this will generate a message saying the value of next exist is, and then it will put here the value that currently exists in this next exist variable. Let me save it and update my service manager. Same way I've done it before. Just go here, upload the script. And now when I run this service, and then go to the log, I'll go to the admin, view log. I will see here the execution log of the service. It starts here with executing demo get absences list next. This is my service. I can see here all the log messages that were generated automatically by the service manager. And I should also see here my custom message. You see here, the value of next exist is true. So this is a custom message that I've added into my script and may help me during the debug process. This is what I've wanted to demonstrate to you in this session. Thank you very much.